Going on to you, Leo. So you have King of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Devil, the Six of Swords. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles. You have the Hanged Man. You have the Chariot. You have the Seven of Swords. Then you have the Judgment. And last but not least, you have the Queen of Wands. So for you, Leos, you Leos wanted to get away from somebody. First thing, the King of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Devil. Some of you Leos were getting to know somebody, but they ran you off. You Leos, soon as you Leos started to see certain things about them, King of Wands, how combative they were. The Devil, how obsessive they were when it came to trying to get control and being a control freak, having to have certain things done their particular way. The Five of Wands and how it is that they were giving you a hard time with those things, no matter how great or small. You Leos decided Six of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, y'all had to get on up on out of there. Y'all had to get away. Look at how many people are on this ship. There are 3 people on this kayak, canoe, or whatever it is that you call it, right? Talking about, right, waving the red flag. See what I mean? The red flag. That's what I'm trying to say. Waving the red flag. Like, yo, you got to get out of there, because you saw what it was. You, Leo, saw, oh, okay, if you don't get away from this person is dysfunctional. So the only thing that's going to happen with time is their dysfunction is going to increase. If you Leos is like, if you don't want to go through that, you got to get out of Dodge. So that's what it is that you did. And this is recent. This is someone that you were just now getting to know. And this person started off cool, which is why you started to get to know them. But quickly they turned. And then now all of a sudden, this person started to become this conniving individual. And now you Leos is like, oh, nah, you got to get out of here. This is crazy. The Knight of Pentacles is about how, so you had to get out of Dodge, right? But the Knight of Pentacles, you are at the very least back to base, right? Back to stability, right? Which is at the very least hanging out by yourself. You don't want to be in a relationship, even if you don't want to be in a relationship if it means being in a relationship with a complete lunatic, right? Person crazy. You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody like that. No, you'd have to get, y'all know I want to say something. You would have to get the freak up on out of here. You'd have to get up on out of there. The Hanged Man now represents, right? So now this is a situation for you Libras where you're like, you know, because this person kept putting you in a messed up disposition, because, well, I ain't gonna say, yeah, I guess you could say you were in a messed up disposition because you wanted to get to know them and you wanted to give them a fair try and you wish that it would have lasted longer, but you have to accept it. That's how long it lasted for, you know? That's how long it lasted for. You cannot be in a relationship with them any longer, even get to know them, because of how dysfunctional they were. You know, you couldn't be in a relationship with them for a very long period of time. They would bring mischief. They would bring confusion to you. They would bring agony to you. They would bring sadomasochism to you. And again, a lot of you Leos saw it for what it was, about how everything was like a fight. Everything was like, you know, a problem. And then the thing about it is that the Chariot is really about you Leos having to really see it for what it is, and like realize that these people, they what is their plan? To be in a relationship with someone that they plan on rejecting and talking trash to. So the Seven of Swords represents, that's not a way to establish that. So what is that you Leos did, excuse me? You Leos decided to to show some form of self-respect and get away from them, the judgment, and to end it for what it is. Most of you Leos probably decided to ghost. Some of you decided to say, you know what? You probably told the person, hey, listen, you can't do this anymore. So okay, so let me rephrase that. Some of you decided to ghost, but the vast majority of you was like, nah. You had to tell them straight up, like, nah, you ain't gonna be able to do this. We're gonna have to get up on out of here. And they acted like, again, the Chariot, the Seven of Swords, they acted like they didn't care. Oh, okay, whatever. I don't care about you, Leo. Whatever the case may be, whatever. But then you have the Queen of Wands, which is right, like the self-respect that a lot of you have. Here they are coming from a sense of hubris, right? They don't need you. They don't care. All this other stuff, they don't care, right? They don't care about it at all. But they are going to care because they're with themselves. They're by themselves. They're lonely. Nobody wants to be around them. You don't want to be around them. You tried, and you are a representation of how many people that tried to get to know them but just can't, because that's how much of an inconsiderate jerk they are, right? So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Devil. Seven of Wands, Two of Wands, the Fool, the Seven of Swords, which you already have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Wands, right? It was hard work hanging out with them. Two of Wands. In order to be with this person, you Leos peeped it. You saw it from a mile away. You had to dub them. You couldn't take it anymore because you knew where this was going to go. All this was going to lead to was problems between you and this person due to the fact that they wanted things done their way. And in order to be with them, you would have to keep peeling back the problems that they have. And it was going to be hard work. What would make it even more hard was the fact that they would be fighting you along the way to peel back those layers so that they wouldn't be so insecure and having to be so combative while they're in a relationship, supposedly. And the Fool and the Seven of Swords represents, yeah, you definitely had to get your self-respect back by letting this go. A lot of you Leos is like, nah, because the thing about it is that you Leos understand that it would start to mess with your own internal peace, right? Because you Leos finally getting out of the way from dysfunctional people to now having free time to now getting like in a kind of a short-term relationship with somebody who's a lunatic, you know what I mean? Who's crazy, who's kind of out of their mind, who's interested in having things done their way, and if it's not done their way, then it's incorrect. And it's like there's more than one path, you know, to get things done. So the ideology of it's only that person's way, that's odd, you know. And it only goes to show you how closed-minded a person is. So let's clarify the Queen of Wands. The Star, Ten of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Three of Wands. It's sad because, thank you, Dominic Toretto. So, anyway, so to clarify the Queen of Wands, right? The Star card represents, remember how I just told y'all that the Queen of Wands in this reading represents how the person is delusional because they're acting like they don't care about you. They don't care if you leave, right? The Star card and the Ten of Pentacles represents how they don't care, or they're acting like they don't care because to them they're thinking like, Oh, they're waiting for this grandiose person. They're waiting for this celebrity, this millionaire. So you're not their first choice anyway. You know, the same nonsense that a lot of people are waiting for. On both sides, by the way. That the chances of that is slim to none. But they're deluded in the sense of, fine, I'll meet such later. And it's like, okay. And the Four of Cups and the Three of Wands, the Four of Cups is, and here they are having the mentality of they could be better fit for such. They could be a better fit for Denzel or Scarlett Johansson. It's like, wait a minute, hold on though. Shout outs to Denzel and Scarlett Johansson. I'm just using y'all as an example. I'm not trying to sully y'all names, but the point that I'm trying to make here is they delude themselves into thinking that they have these options, right? These movie star, you know. Shout outs to Samuel L. Jackson for the movies that he's done. I met Samuel L. Jackson, by the way. But they're deluded because the Four of Cups represents, they also have this mentality of like, they'll be able to be a better fit for them. Three of Wands, when you Leos left, you Leos really put them through heartbreak because you just saw the delusion that they are coming with, the idea that they have lost it. They're not really equipped to be in a relationship. They're dysfunctional, highly. So they're off to the loony bin.